Hello everyone, how's everybody doing out there? So thanks for tuning in. So a few months ago I made this video here warning people thinking about moving here of all the things about Oklahoma that might make them think twice about making the move. And I was trying to keep people from making a very costly mistake, both in terms of their finances and their emotions. As in, watch this video before you uproot your family and your life. If you're thinking about moving to the Sooner State, I encourage you to check out this video first. So today's video is a companion to that one. It's a fact that people are coming here from West Coast cities, from Denver, Chicago, DC, Dallas, etc., as you can see here on this Redfin migration map. So let's say you're one of them, that you've moved here, so you've settled in, you got the kids in school, the wife found a new job, and you're working your new job, but as time has gone by, you're less and less enamored with Oklahoma. And having lived here a while, there are a lot of reasons now you can cite for why that's so. Now you've tried to like the place, you really have, but you're at the point where you want out. Any way you can swing it. I get it, not every place is perfect. So in today's video, we'll touch again on the things that are the typical last straws when it comes to biting the bullet and deciding to leave Oklahoma. None of these are probably new to anyone learning about what it's like to live here, but these should serve as a reminder to move here with your eyes wide open as to what to expect. The list of 5 things I've come up with was sourced from viewer comments from my own channel, also from the channels of other local content creators I know, and from various online message boards. All I know is that people have very strong opinions on the subject and can get really riled up, shielded by the fact that negative comments can be made anonymously, of course. Now, speaking of voicing opinions, comment down below and let me know if you've gotten fed up and left Oklahoma. And more importantly, why? I've grouped these comments into 5 categories, but before we dive into the 5 themes of why Oklahoma basically sucks in the minds of those that packed up and left, let me introduce myself. My name is Lynn Taggart. I'm a local realtor based in Edmond, Oklahoma, and I've lived in Oklahoma City pretty much all my life. Suffice it to say, I know this place inside and out, the good and the bad. So if you're undeterred after watching this video and are thinking of making a move to this little slice of heaven, give me a call or shoot me a text or email and let's connect. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to help you in any way I can. I know. I hate always hearing this, but it would really help me out if you could hit the like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed this video. Also tap the notification bell to be alerted when I post new content. Doing so lets the YouTube algorithm, that mysterious, complex, frustrating beast, know that you're enjoying the content I'm putting out. All right. Let's kick things off in no particular order. So here are the 5 things that quote-unquote sealed the deal and drove people to decide to leave Oklahoma. We'll kick it off with the one that everyone mentions without fail. Number 1, the weather in Oklahoma sucks. Okay, nothing new here, right? What's there to hate about the weather in Oklahoma? Oh, I don't know, plenty. Tornadoes, yep. We have them frequently in the spring. Large, scary-looking, supercell thunderstorms pop up, and they can lead to tornadoes and what's the bigger threat in my mind, large damaging hail. The actual odds of ever being affected by a tornado are minuscule. Put it this way, you have a 99.94% chance that you will never be impacted by a tornado in Oklahoma. I don't know about you, but I'm comfortable with those odds, but many are not. In the springtime here, yes, we have tornado sirens that blare on occasion and storm warning interruptions on TV. Yeah, they're unnerving to some, but to most they're just annoyances that we all accept because we know that these things, they actually do save lives. The hail we get with these storms is a different matter because it impacts, pardon the pun, I couldn't help it. The hail impacts your home and especially your auto insurance rates. Oklahoma has some of the highest rates in the country as a result. Setting severe weather aside, the other main pain to deal with here is the wind. It blows here all the time. Heck, it's the first lyric of our state song, the Rodgers and Hammerstein song Oklahoma, from the Broadway play and movie of the same name, is in Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain, where the waving wheat can sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain. Okay, it's mentioned 2 times in the first lyric, not 1. Fact checking, the composer's got that part right. It does come sweeping down the plain. A lot. In the summer from the south, nonstop, and in the winter from the north. And in the warmer months, all that wind does is a good job of carrying around all that stuff called pollen and spreading it all over the place. So if you have allergies, this place can be brutal. Trust me, I suffer from allergies all the time here. And last but not least, I mentioned at the outset all those people moving here from the West Coast. Want to guess what they'll find out when they get here they can't get away from? Earthquakes. Just like back home in California. No kidding. We had a series of earthquakes last weekend. We had 20 of them total, mostly small ones, occurring on a fault line in east central Oklahoma, just east of Oklahoma City. 2 of them were over 4.5, and we definitely felt the house shake on those. They don't happen all the time, but they do occur. Rattles the nerves and the house foundation. And don't get me started on the heat and humidity we have here, but we need to get on to the next topic. Suffice it to say, weather here can be a real pain to deal with. Number 2, public schools in Oklahoma suck. Well, no argument there. In general, they do, and this one hits close to home. Why do I say that? Well, my wife's a public school teacher here in Oklahoma. My cousins were public school teachers, and my late mother and grandfather were public school teachers here in Oklahoma. It's the same now as it was for my mom and granddad. Public schools in Oklahoma have always ranked near the bottom in nearly every national survey conducted. Now, how bad are they? Pretty bad. Oklahoma comes in at number 48. Hey, at least we weren't last. Teacher pay comes in at number 38 nationally, having come up recently in the last year or so. The average teacher pay in Oklahoma is $55,000 per year. Nationally, it's $67,000, so we've still got a long ways to go. Despite all the political rhetoric, the Oklahoma legislature can never seem to find a way to dig Oklahoma out of this education hole with increased funding for schools and teachers alike. There's always lots of talk, but rarely, if ever, any action. People leaving Oklahoma who have kids frequently mention the poor quality of the schools. Student test scores are equally bad, putting Oklahoma again near the bottom, and again at number 48 nationally. It's a situation that's not likely to change anytime soon, and as a parent myself, I completely understand when parents with young kids decide to leave the state in pursuit of better education opportunities for their kids. Our kids were lucky to have attended school in one of Oklahoma's finest public school districts, Edmond Public Schools, which is known nationally for its outstanding academics. There are a handful of other great school districts in the state, but unfortunately, they're few and far between. Number 3, the politics in Oklahoma suck. So if you have liberal leanings, well, let's just say you may be outnumbered. That fact alone has caused many to say, I can't take it anymore. I'm out of here. Oklahoma is red, solid red. There, I said it. As a friend of mine said, this state is so red, it has a sunburn. Conservative values and politics rule the roost in Oklahoma. Now, I know that discussing politics and values can be tricky business when you're making YouTube videos. Let's just say the image of a minefield comes to mind. But it's important to mention if you lean more towards progressive or liberal ideologies. Many have found it challenging to feel at home here as a result, since these things can and do impact your lifestyle and a sense of belonging. So how red is Oklahoma? Well, in 2016 and 2020 presidential elections, every single county in Oklahoma voted Republican. One national publication put Oklahoma City at number 1 in their list of the 10 most conservative cities in the U.S., and in similar fashion, Forbes magazine recently ranked Oklahoma City as the second most conservative city in the U.S. Our governor is Republican, as are all of our U.S. senators and congressmen and women. That conservative trend extends to religion as well. Oklahoma sits at the west edge of what's called the Bible Belt. Recent census data shows that 2/3 of Oklahoma City residents don't just consider themselves religious, but are actually affiliated with a religious congregation. Of those that consider themselves religious, 40% identify as Baptist, 14% as Methodist, and 10% as Catholic. Now that reality offends some people, no doubt, contributing to their exodus from the state. Now, if you moved here from the West Coast, and let's say you consider yourself to be a climate activist, well, you might also have trouble finding folks here that share your beliefs. That too can be a disincentive to living here. And what really gives climate folks living here heartburn? The fact that the state's economy is so heavily reliant on the fossil fuel industry. Hey, drill baby drill. So I can understand when these folks say, get me the heck out of here. Since I mentioned the fossil fuel industry, let's turn our attention to topic number 4. Number 4, business diversity in Oklahoma. It pretty much sucks. When I was researching content for a video I did several months ago, I learned a pretty startling fact about the oil and gas industry in Oklahoma. I worked as a petroleum engineer in the state for over 20 years, and while I knew that oil and gas exploration, production, and refining were all a big part of the state's economy, I was shocked to find out that, according to a recent PricewaterhouseCoopers study, get a load of this, oil and gas accounts for 1 out of every 4 jobs in Oklahoma, both directly and indirectly. That's nearly 400,000 well-paying jobs. Yikes. 25% of jobs in the state come from one industry? Yeesh. So much for having a diverse economy in the state. Not only that, but the oil and gas business is highly cyclical, with booms and busts and large layoffs happening repeatedly, also affecting the state's tax revenues as well. See education woes I mentioned before. Regarding layoffs, I can speak from experience here, as I've been through 7, count them, 7 layoffs in my oil and gas career. Talk about stress-inducing. Sadly, there are a few other large employers in the area, with the exceptions being Tinker Air Force Base in nearby Midwest City, AT&T, Hobby Lobby, and Paycom. And really, that's pretty much it. There's an absence of large, high-tech businesses to be found here, and unfortunately, that's not likely to change soon. The same goes for companies focused on technologies competing with oil and gas, things like renewable or alternative energy technologies. Those too are few and very far between. Many who have moved here have come to realize that, you know what, if you're looking for a diverse range of businesses and hence job prospects, you'll find here that your options are limited. I hate to say that. The fact was mentioned over and over in comments I read, and a key reason cited by many for their departure from the state. Hey, I can't blame folks for seeking better job prospects elsewhere. And last but not least, number 5. Ah, yes. Oklahoma is boring, as in the scenery and the activities suck. Yeah, this comment was heard again and again and again and again and again as a reason why people bailed on Oklahoma. Yes, it's true. Oklahoma has no access to beautiful oceans and beaches. We don't have majestic mountains to visit, climb, hike, or ski down. We don't have any famous tourist attractions, things like Disneyland, the Statue of Liberty, the U.S. Capitol, the St. Louis Arch, the Space Needle, or beautiful national parks to visit. And speaking of national parks, we do have one, the Oklahoma City Bombing Memorial, which commemorates a tragedy that occurred here. But that's a story for another day. We don't have any forests except in far southeastern Oklahoma. Heck, Oklahoma doesn't have a lot of trees, period. And it's flat. And the wind blows. It comes sweeping down the plain, remember? We have a lot of lakes, but nearly all of them are man-made. We don't have any famous festivals or annual events like, say, Mardi Gras or the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade or the Rose Parade, or cool happenings like, South by Southwest in Austin, or any Major League Baseball, NFL, or NHL teams to cheer for. And we do have the NBA covered with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thank goodness. So yeah, I can see why people say that Oklahoma is boring. Let's face it, Oklahoma is what it is, and for those of us that grew up here, we accept it and we embrace it. Heck, I'm getting depressed just talking about it and how we stack up to other parts of the country. But to wrap up this video, I want to share one thing with you so as not to leave you on a down note. So when I was researching the reasons why people leave Oklahoma, I did run across one quote that really stuck with me. It really resonated with me, and it's the one thing that, despite all the negatives I mentioned here, that most folks, including the ones that left, can't deny. And maybe, just maybe, it's the most important thing to know about this state and the reason I haven't moved. Now, one man who left said this, and I quote, "I don't like Oklahoma, but I love Oklahomans. I love the people of the state," end quote. They will give you the shirt off their back if you're in need. They always pull together during times of tragedy to help neighbors, and we've definitely experienced tragedies here, no doubt. People here still say please and thank you. They open doors for others, and they wave at strangers passing by. And last but not least, they still respect that every person has a right to their own opinion. even opinions they don't agree with. So to close out this video, let me say this. It's my opinion that it's the people of Oklahoma that make Oklahoma great, and the reason why it still is a great place to live, despite all the negatives I cited above. Want to hear some great things about living here, like our low cost of living for one? Check out this video here. So comment down below, folks, what did I miss? Other reasons for leaving I didn't touch on, or for why people bailed on the state? I'd love to hear what you have to say. Now, if you're undeterred after watching this, great. I'd love to talk to you. So call me at the number below, or text me or email me, and I'd love to talk to you and answer any questions you may have. I know I sound like a broken record, folks, but I would really appreciate it if you could hit the like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed the video, and also tap the notification bell to be alerted when I put out new stuff. So that's it for now, folks. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Adios.